Hey everybody, welcome back. It's October 4th. It's late for a pickups video, but it's been a long week. Got only a couple things to show you today. You can probably end up seeing where most of my video game budget went to when you look at the handful of things I've got today. Let's start with the only oh no, there's two. Alright, start with the oldest thing. Gunfighter, Legend of Jesse James. This is a very old light gun shooter, kind of on the more obscure side for the PS1, but it's more of a budget title. Nonetheless, haven't picked this one up yet to go amongst my many light gun compatible titles on PS1, PS2 since I got my CRT, which was last year, and I haven't really played it a whole bunch, but good to have Gunfighter, Legend of Jesse James to throw in the mix there. So that's cool. And then the other PlayStation 1, jump all the way up to PlayStation 5 for a new release, Silent Hill F. Mr. F. Yes. Forgot that this was coming out. Then when they told me what the release date was from my pre-order on Amazon, I was like, oh yeah, that's awesome. That's really exciting. Right before October hits. But of course, like I was talking about last night on Instagram, Silent Hill is not a Halloween game to me. None of them are. Halloween is fun. Silent Hill, especially this one, not fun. And I don't say that because, the games are bad. Silent Hill is very serious, psychological horror, especially more modern ones like this one. I say more modern ones we haven't really had anything besides a remake for a long time. So this is the first new Silent Hill game in a long time. It's very, very heavy. It's very awkward. I think it requires you to be able to appreciate games as an art form rather than just be like, the gameplay is great, the combat is great. I mean, the graphics, it looks beautiful and horrible and all of that stuff at the same time, but I like that you would not go into a Silent Hill, any Silent Hill, and be like, yeah, combat's amazing. No, combat is terrible for a reason. It's not fun. My idea of a Halloween game is a lot more like I was saying last night, your Luigi's Mansion or your Castlevanias, your 10 versions of Bram Stoker's Dracula on 8 and 16-bit systems. They're goofy, they're actiony, they're upbeat to an extent. They just have your sort of ghoulies and ghosties vibes to them. Silent Hill F, Silent Hill of any type, psych horror. Not a Halloween game, however, I am chugging along through it. It's really great. I definitely recommend picking up Silent Hill F, but not as this is my theme game for Halloween. Because if this is your theme game for Halloween, you're not a fun Halloween party person. You're it's very intense. I don't know. I would not look at that and say it's fun Halloween times for getting together and doing spooky stuff with your friends. We go to the other place where most of my video game budget would have gone this month. This is Twilight Princess HD for the Wii U. After many long years of being technically what you would call a Wii U collector, I've not bought a Wii U game in years at this point, not since probably Shakedown Hawaii came out. I think that would have probably been, the last Wii U purchase I bought, unless there wasn't a weird one in there. But probably the fourth or fifth time I've bought Twilight Princess. Never finished Twilight Princess. It's very... it always starts out as a slog, which kind of hurts you for the long run, and which is why I never stick around even once we get past that. But getting Twilight Princess HD, the Wii U with Zelda for me was always really weird because I got my Wii U as the Wind Waker HD bundle, which is great. And I never bought Wind Waker on physical for a long time because I already had it. Breath of the Wild, would have got that with my Switch. I had no reason to get it on Wii U. Except that it got really cheap, so I added it in. And Twilight Princess, I already had on GameCube for a long time, which I consider to be the real version. This is also the real version, quote unquote, because it's not mirrored or anything, and it's all the way it's supposed to be presented. But yeah, this has been expensive for a long time now, so I had never gone out of my way to grab it. I paid $100 for this. So that was always the really difficult part about getting Twilight Princess in the collection, but lovely. Like I said, probably the fourth or fifth time I've bought Twilight Princess, going all the way back to my original Wii when I was like 12. Um, but yeah, maybe one day I will give it another go with Twilight Princess. I do love the art style and everything like that. Just I've never been able to stick with Twilight Princess. It feels like there's so many parts of it that are just a slog, and I love watching videos and stuff about it. I love like the boss design, and there's so many things about it that I find really really interesting and really cool design. But I just never I never stick with it. I never stick with it. Once the first 2 hours of being basically all in the village in that first forest are like such a drag to me. It kills my enthusiasm a lot of the time. Anyway, yeah, let's get on to one DS game is Advance Wars Days of Ruin. Found a really good deal for this on eBay. Now covers the first. So I don't have the first DS Dual Strike Advance Wars game, but I have that Boot Camp Reboot Camp for Switch, and I've got this one. This is actually the one that I would have played a little bit when I was a kid and got my DS the first time. I can't get over how the last new Advance Wars game, which was in 2008, is like the most Americanized, like falling into the trap of what Nintendo never does. Intelligent Systems too, like they would never fall into this trap of like browns and like darkness and things like that. And like it's not like it's completely like that. It hasn't completely washed over the entire Advance Wars style, but especially the presentation of it on the box for the U.S. release really really has. I know it's a little bit like that all around, but it always gets me how like they sold this as like this is a really serious game. We took out all the bright blues and bright oranges and stuff. Yeah, just wild to me. Still supposed to be great. Advance Wars all through the entire series, really really great stuff. Nice complete copy here too, so happy with that. I got 3 Switch games to close us out here. I'm gonna start with Horizon Chase. Actually, 2 of these are like racing games. Very strange to me. Horizon Chase Turbo. I've had this on download for a long time. I always wanted to pick this up. I think this got like some weird, like I think this got a limited run release, and then it never. It had this regular retail one a little while after that though. I think there's a second game in the series now too. But basically, if you have your like your outrun style, you're like very arcadey. It's got very stylized like 80s type graphics. Like everything about this is like it says right here on the back, tribute to 80s and 90s arcade racers. So really cool stuff. Very very simple, very simple concept, but very like concept focused racing game. Cool stuff. I really like that game. This other one, this is Gear Club Unlimited 2. Not I always think of this as like, oh, isn't it fun that the Nintendo keeps getting the way less involved and way powered down Gran Turismo knockoff or Forza knockoff, I guess is what you would say it is now. If you go back to like the 64 and you look at like Gran Turismo 1 and 2, and the 64 never has anything like that. The closest thing you can really say it has is like World Driver Championship, which is to me is a great game. Not my style, but a really really fantastic game that looks awesome. Graphically it's one of the best. And then you look at like go through like all of the consoles, and Nintendo never competes with PlayStation and Xbox. And not that that's their style, that they really would, but like again, come up all the way to the Switch, they very powered down Gran Turismo, which I think is now on other systems too. It's not like this is exclusive anymore, but I remember when the first one was coming out. But I did always want to pick this up as like sort of this is your Nintendo-ized Gran Turismo game. 51 prestigious licensed cars, like 51, like oh my god, that's so many, except for Gran Turismo and Forza, which have hundreds. Like always very funny to me. It's supposed to be solid, not like blow you away, but like solid game. Always wanted to pick it up, but I won't pay $40 for that, And then lastly, I just got this in last night. Pocket Bravery. It's funny thing about this is this isn't the same game, and I know that the game that it reminds me of does exist, and I've never pulled the trigger even $10 to just pay for it on the eShop. I think it's mostly because I feel burned by it. Right when the Switch launched there was a game called Pocket Rumble, that was supposed to be coming out. That was the most like Neo Geo Pocket Color inspired fighting game for a modern system. It was $10 eShop game basically. It kept getting delayed, and it's sort of like what this ends up doing. Except this is like full on like full color stylized graphics, whereas the Pocket Rumble game is like not monochrome, but it's like 8-color basically. Like all the sprites are like 1 to 2 colors, like in shades, like you would have on a Game Boy or a Neo Geo. Like it's more like Game Boy because Neo Geo Pocket Color is way more vivid colors than that. But that was the style. It was like 2 buttons and everything. So I think this is sort of like that stylized, like gameplay wise too. But I was like, this is a physical game that cost me $20, and I definitely would like to get this over the $10 eShop game that kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed until I forgot about it and didn't care anymore. So we'll see if it's good. I think it's supposed to be solid, but yeah. Anyway, that's everything for this September. Put up Star Fox, and I'm working on Diddy Kong Racing for the site. Those are your big name game reviews. I just did Mortal Kombat Trilogy this past week. So I'm trying to get some of these big titles out there, but also not go like too hard because we're in technically Q4 now. The analog could ship any day. So I do kind of wait on that and see, I really want to get the best possible representation of them with screenshots and stuff. So I keep putting off all these big games and not doing them. And then I go out and I do Star Fox because I'm like, I feel like I'm ready to do Star Fox, and I think I did really good with that. Please check that one out, Star Fox 64 review on ntndo64.com. If you read any, it's the most verbose that I've done on a review. It's over 2,000 words, which I've come close to before, but this was a lot of work that I put into it. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you next month, and keep checking the site to see what game reviews do go up. Peace.